Hello and welcome to your training on the CLPD PD computer. The PD computer is used for putting up warrants, crime reports, jail reports, and anything else that the PD officers may need to keep track on. It also means that when you are not around or on duty, other officers are able to finish off any unfinished business, or they're able to look up the reports that otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell them. So, first of all, to get into the PD computer, you need full access on the forum as a PD officer. And all you need to do is go to the top of the forums where it says Game Tools and click PD Computer. So the first window we're going to be seeing is the Police Computer Most Wanted level. So basically this is a list of the top criminals on the server via a point system, and this adds up a certain amount of points for each crime. So for speeding you'll get a certain amount of points, for attempted murders you'll get a certain amount of points. Sometimes it's not as accurate because if somebody has 20 speeding tickets, they might have added up more points than someone that might have murdered someone. But it's still a good way to look and see if someone's really far ahead that they might need to be detained. So obviously the top person will have the highest score, but all of these people have committed a crime. So we can move on here to the top up here, and basically all it will do is it will list you as an officer and your rank. You also have a search box here, and the search box allows you to pop in anything you want to look up. So you might want to look up a person, so you're able to check their warrants, check whether they should be in jail, crime reports, etc., which we will get onto. You will be able to search their name in case sensitive, and it will present you with all the different information about them that you could possibly want. We also have warrants, so you can just check them for warrants. You can check for a vehicle owner. You can check for license plates. You can also check for reports on certain people. So you might want to look for reports by a certain officer, reports by a certain suspect. So somebody might say, do the police know about this? And you'll be able to check for them. You can also check for witnesses in a crime, in case you might want to once again question what they saw on the scene. Obviously reports on the crime as well. And then we also have the police computer log, which is for higher ups. So moving on to the warrants page. So the warrants page is just a list of different all the warrants that have been collected up. As you can see here, it's just a whole list table of the different warrants that people go through. So on the very left here we have the incidents, and they come with a number. This lets people link warrants to crime reports, jail reports, etc. We have the suspect, the crime that they were doing, whether they were ticketed, whether it's for a ticket or an arrest, the dates and times, so you can obviously tell them when it happened, etc. Also with the location, so where it happened. We have details here, so if we click this one we can see more details about it. So for this one, how fast they went, so they only went 101 in 100, so people can decide how they're going to deal with it. We also have a drop down box here to change the status of the warrant, which we'll get onto when we deal with the warrants page in general. And then we have the reporter, so sometimes it'll be an officer shown here, for example. Certain officers have put up warrants here, but you'll also see the server. The server's for when a speed camera catches them and they can't pay their fine. They will be popped up on the warrants report, and we know that they need to be either ticketed or arrested if the speeding tickets add up. So moving on to the jail reports. The jail reports are similar to the warrant reports, but they, instead of saying who we need to arrest, they're showing who we've arrested and why. So you can see here, it's similar as before. We have an ID and an officer of the person who's popped them in jail, the suspect that's been put in jail and their amount of jail time, where they're located, the crime they committed, and any items they had on them that were illegal or the legal ones that need to be given back to them. Once again we have the outcome, which we'll get onto when we deal with the jail reports, and it tells you whether they are in jail or whether they've been released. And we also have the parole drop down box as well to say whether someone's asked for parole or not. Once again, the date and time that they've been put in jail, more details on the jail report, and once again the reporter. So the arresting officer might be different to the reporter. So the officer is the person that did the arrest and did the procedure of putting them in jail. The reporter is the person that put the jail reports up, and then the server. Okay, moving on to the crime report, which is once again similar. It's a whole list of tables again, but slightly different style. The crime reports are for the more minor reports. However, it's also used for when a warrant's been served, we've arrested someone, or someone's gone in jail. When somebody goes in jail, a crime report will go up for them to say that they've done the crime. So the crime report is, as I say, it's just a list of crimes that somebody has done, and enables us to see any crimes that somebody may have committed in the past. A lot of them will be marked off as served as either released or in jail. But we can see here we have the plea of them, that they've pleaded guilty or not guilty, the time that they would get, the dates, the suspect, we can see the officer, the location, once again if there was any witnesses, the crimes and details, and then obviously the drop down whether it was solved or any other situation, and what's happened to them now, whether they're in jail, whether they've been released, or what else has happened. And we can also put here the time that they got in jail or the fine that they got. So you might want to put just a charge for a speeding ticket, and any of that will go here. So speeding ticket, etc. will go in here, so officers can look it up and see that this person's been caught maybe 5 times speeding in that one time. Moving on to the DMV. So the DMV is just a list of who owns what vehicle and the number plate of them. So we have a whole list of different people here, and hundreds or 25 different pages here. Sorry, a load of different pages. But the quicker way of doing that would be to go here, check a license plate, check a vehicle owner, or go on to person report and look at a list of vehicles that they own. And the last one to move on to is the calculator. The calculator, which we'll get onto in one of the next videos, will be how to add up time for a jail sentence or for an arrest, so that the time or the fine is calculated correctly and we have no issues with anything like that. It allows us to make sure we've listed all the crimes together, copy the crimes time and the fines into the jail reports or the warrants or whatever's needed, and it makes it a lot easier than having to do it yourself. So it's just a way of calculating time. So that leaves everything, all the basics of the PD computer, how to get to the PD computer, and what each of the different things on it are. So we will be going into more detail on what the different things do, how to put up a warrant, how to put up a jail report, a crime report, and how to properly calculate a crime that somebody has committed soon.